3 in a row. I feel like we've earned a day off.
Nailed it. Duolingo would be celebrating us with a little owl dance. There'd be little fireworks things going off.
Yeah. That's. I don't know. It's supposed
What can
to.
I say, Brad? I'm awake.
Yeah. Well, he may
really
not be after today because apparently Armageddon's blowing through, according to the weather.
Oh,
So
we just have overcast today.
we have death from above.
They say frogs and stuff, crickets, whatever.
Yeah. But if you want to hear something good, here's a quick message from today's sponsor. Today's podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Paris. Did you know that Active Directory is exploited in 9 out of 10 cyber attacks? Once cyber criminals control your Active Directory, it is game over. With access to Active Directory, attackers can gain control of your entire network, and if AD goes down, business comes to a halt. And it's not just on-premises Active Directory that's under attack. Cyber criminals are targeting Azure Active Directory too. Attackers can gain entry in the cloud and move to on-premises identity systems or vice versa. To keep threat actors out, you need to find and fix Active Directory security gaps. Meet Purple Knight, your ally in defending against adversaries trying to breach your hybrid Active Directory environment. Purple Knight is a free Active Directory security assessment tool built by Paris identity experts. With Purple Knight, you can spot Active Directory vulnerabilities before attackers do. Purple Knight scans your hybrid environment for hundreds of indicators of exposure or compromise in both on-premises Active Directory and Azure AD. Purple Knight gives you an overall security score and prioritizes remediation guidance for fixing AD security vulnerabilities. Ready to reduce your Active Directory attack surface? Download Purple Knight, the #1 Active Directory security vulnerability assessment tool.
Brad, what's more time consuming than waiting for a train going by an intersection? Waiting for a train going through an intersection behind a school bus.
Ooh.
Because school buses have to stop at the train track.
They do.
Every single time. And there are a lot of school buses. Today's little, the more you know, rainbow fact. I don't know.
Yeah, you got that going on. The Surface Dock, whatever they're calling it, it's now official out there.
Not Surface Dock 3, but okay.
Surface Thunderbolt 4 dock. I mean, it's basically saying that Surface Connect is it's done. It's lived a life.
Yeah. I mean, there's still the question of whether they could have done a Surface Connect with Thunderbolt for USB 4 capabilities, which I think a lot of people would like for all the reasons people like Surface Connect. But yeah, I think it's fair to say it's a USB-C world and we're just living in it.
So there's a little interesting tidbit if you kind of look at this thing. I mean, aside the fact that Surface Connect, now we know it's done.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This thing, if you use it with the Surface Laptop Studio 2, which is their new high-end flagship laptop, Paul Thurrott, from Microsoft, the Surface Thunderbolt 4 dock, also made by Microsoft, cannot charge the Surface Laptop Studio 2.
Is it because it needs more than 96 watts or whatever the number
That's
is?
my guess. Like, it'll function as a dock, but it says that it will not charge it, and I'm guessing that, to your point, that under load, it's drawing more power than that.
How many times are they going to do this? There was a Surface Book where this was the case too, right?
I think it's the one I'm using right now. Book 3.
Yeah. Jesus, guys. Well, at least it's $300.
It's a nice dock as long as you don't need to use your high-end laptop with it.
It's a nice dock if you're into black bricks.
Yeah. Well, it's a good home defense weapon. I mean, those cords are usually pretty robust.
Yeah, actually, you could probably swing it on its cord and use it like a medieval type of weapon.
Yeah.
It's fine. What you just said is, of course, like so goofy because what you want when you spend the most money is to have to plug in two things.
Right.
But oh well. Here comes the train, Brad. Can you hear the train?
I cannot hear the train. The microphone is muting it. We gotta.
Stupid high-end microphone. It's a joyous sound unto the Lord. Anyway.
Outlook, not the app, but the web interface that they've now put into a web wrapper that is no longer native to the desktop OS.
Which one might describe as an app, but yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Now supports Gmail accounts. So
Yeah, no, every 6 months or so they add like one feature to this thing, and eventually it will just be ready for consumption, I guess.
I
I like it, by the way. I
yeah.
just did a little quick overview of the mail and calendar apps for that Hands on Windows podcast, and so I installed this app, and I don't have that update yet, but it is. I know people who use like full on Outlook are freaking out over this thing, but compared to mail and calendar,
Hmm.
it's not bad. Like I could picture using this thing. Yeah,
Maybe.
I know.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
I can picture all kinds of things. It's been a long time since I've had an Outlook icon on my taskbar, but
That is true.
you never know.
They should bring back Outlook Express. That's all I'm saying.
It's kind of it kind of
It
is
kinda
Outlook
is.
Express, right? It's like mail and what do they call the thing? Windows Live Mail or whatever.
Oh,
It's kind
yeah.
of or whatever
Yeah.
that thing was. It's kind of like that, right? I mean,
I mean, it kind of is, I guess. Except less configuring of your own servers and
the one thing Microsoft has to figure out. This also came up during the same podcast. Is during my kind of build up to it. There's a real problem, and this is a problem Microsoft's making and a problem of Microsoft's fixing. I just don't understand why it's not fixed. If you use what used to be called the Office app or the Office 365 app or whatever it used to be called, now it's the Microsoft 365 app, or you use the new Outlook and you want to launch like an app that's in the little sidebar or whatever, it usually launches the web app even when you have the app on your computer.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And it's a weird one. Like, and it's not 100% true of everything. Like, I think if you launch To Do from either of those, it actually launches the To Do app.
Hmm.
But if you launch Word, Excel, PowerPoint, it launches the web app, even if you have the real apps. And guys, seriously, you need to figure this out. Like, this is like 101. I haven't looked into this. I don't mean to make the point like even I could write that code, but I probably like. The fact that Microsoft is not doing that correctly is weird to me. It's a problem. So, there you go. Stop a little switch. Just tell me which one you want. I
Yeah.
want to use the desktop app.
Kind of agree. Quirks and features. That could be a whole Microsoft like description. Just
Yeah, it's really it's regressions are us. It's little bits of like obvious functionality that should be in a 1.0 product, and it's weird how often they miss that bar.
Yeah, I was actually a bit surprised with Loop, which is
This is
lacking,
another great example, actually.
missing a lot. Now, they're coming because I started DMing somebody who, after I asked about it, like keyboard shortcuts.
Right.
There's
Right.
like new page, new subpage. Those are really important
Apply
keyboard
heading,
shortcuts.
right?
Not
Which
bad.
actually you may know. So I watched at the gym. I rewatched the Loop introduction video.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like 12 minutes long or something. And it's I'm on my phone and I'm like going up and down. I'm trying to. There's no go back 30 seconds, but I couldn't rehear it. But one of the issues I have with Notion is that it's really hard after you've written text to apply a style to it.
Yes.
There's no, in Microsoft Word, Control Alt 1 or something will give it a heading 1, right? In Notion, you have to click on that little 6-pack menu thing and change to whatever it is, and whatever, that's fine. But I like to, I'm writing. I want to use keyboard shortcuts. I thought the guy said something. I got to go look this up. I thought he said maybe that there's a way to apply a style to text easily, which is maybe not the shortcut I just asked for, but something. Does that sound familiar?
Well, I mean, you can do the / command, but that's
No, I mean after the fact. In other words,
Yeah.
you've written some words, and now you're like, I want this to be a heading, or I want this to be whatever. It doesn't matter what you want it to be, a bullet point or something.
see. I don't do a lot of styling.
Yeah.
I'm a big bullet point person.
Yeah, and
then,
you tend to do those ahead of time anyway, right? You write the dash, and it just so that's all automatic.
yeah, and then
All right, this
I need
is something
pages.
I need to look into, but I feel like Loop is going to ship in a 1.0 form with lots of missing things like that, and I would call this kind of a lack of detail orientation. Like I accept that we need to move on from the old way of doing things, but I think one of the ways we do that is to provide those people with a path forward. And Microsoft these days tends to do that about a year to 18 months later, right? If enough people complain about a taskbar entry for Task Manager not being there, they'll fix it eventually.
Or Gmail and Outlook your map.
Yeah, no, that's a
Me
great
too.
example. I mean, no, but this is very typical these days,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not a fan of this kind of software
but ship it
development.
fast, ship it often. That's the.
They don't ship it fast though. How long has this Outlook thing been in development? How
No,
long
that is
has
true.
Loop been in development? You know, I mean, honestly, it's like ship it slow, and then we'll see.
Ship it slow, ship it late. I don't know.
Ship it poorly.
It's not really
Ship it only
fast
to
and
some
fluid,
people.
is it?
Fast and fluid. This is more like congested or otherwise backed up.